Hello, Drake and Sad Boy Cinema here, and today I am back with a new review of this MrCiberLuck EP, What About the 808? Of course, after making that last review, after coming back of like 2-3 weeks, however long it's been, because I've been unmotivated, I decided, hey, why don't I go on to Reddit and find a new album to review while I'm waiting for, something good to come along. Because I prefer to review more underground, not heard of things. Because I tried doing, popular music for a little bit, but it's not as fun when you're talking about something everyone else is. So of course I went out and searched for this album, and lo and behold, here it is. Let's start with a strangely unique production on here, which sounds like a sonical representation of one of those deep fried memes. The beats remind me of DaBaby in the way that every track sounds about the same instrumentally. The tempos are pretty much identical. The bass is pretty much identical. There's not really a whole lot holding any of these beats from being one singular track altogether. Now that on its own doesn't make them bad. What does make them bad is how clipped out it sounds, how distorted it sounds, how just fucked the mixes are. I'm all for distortion. I'm all for loud music, death grips, slaps. What I'm not for is your production being unintentionally unlistenable. These beats sound like what I imagine a drill beat would sound like if you put it in a blender. The production on here literally sounds like he searched incel type beat. And his lyrics give me the same vibe. From lyrics about beating women, and arguing with women, and yelling at women, and being aggressive with women. I just get the idea that this guy is a big Eminem stan, hates mumble rap, that shit. Or he's on the opposite side of the spectrum and hates Eminem, so he wants to do that style, but better. Any art that is ever made out of spite will always be bad, because love for the craft is what makes a good piece of work. And either there's a whole lot of spite put into this, or there's just no fucking effort. I'm not just bullying someone who just released their first project or something. This guy has 2 other albums under his belt and a whole string of singles below that. So it's like, I'm not, this guy isn't new to this. Not to beat up too much of the recordings, because, mics can be quite expensive. It's clear that it's recorded through an Xbox gamer headset sometimes, but sometimes that is actually, not as noticeable when the beat is as trash as the recording is. But there are at times when this guy's delivery is just like that scream whisper thing, like he doesn't want his mom to hear what he's doing in the next room. Like the track I Want to Scream Help Me, there's some points where it sounds like he's whisper screaming. Is this what he thinks screaming is? And there's a couple points where he breaks out into a more pronounced delivery, which is a little bit more of what I think he wants to go for on this project, or just in general with his music. I'm not checking out any fucking other thing he has. I don't want to. But it just sounds as if a 12-year-old was making this, but I'm pretty sure this dude is probably at least 18. And I know I said before that a lot of his lyrics are basically just sexual assault, but that's not even entirely the case. A good chunk of it is just filler. It's just nowhere rhymes. It's just a bunch of fuck shit that you hear a bunch of Eminem stans rapping on Twitter, and they think that they're spitting fire. You have a bunch of similes that don't make sense, a bunch of rhyme schemes that are just forced in there to make it more compact, when really you're just saying a bunch of random shit. Ravioli looking a lot like areola. Looking around like I have no body. Looking around like I have no hobbies. I'm never gonna buy a Maserati. These lyrics are trash. They say nothing. They do nothing. They just fill space, and this entire project is essentially just this dude filling space. And that previously mentioned Hey There, I Want to Scream Help Me track, that's the best on here, and it's still unlistenable. On the second chorus, it starts with a recording and then goes into a completely different one. But that transition is honestly probably the best thing on the tape, because it feels like it's doing something. It feels like it's using the low quality aesthetic to its advantage. That instrumental is also the most creative one here, because at the intro it goes through the first time on the hook and then goes in reverse. It's like this guy listened to Damn once. I don't know what to say about this project. There's not a lot worth listening to here. Unless you like hearing... Yeah, this is an F. This is an easy F. If this was an album, it would be a 0. But because it's an EP, he saved himself and got an F. And that's that. Bye.
Fuck you, oh, I don't care about you, no fucking mo. I just wanna see you raw in the flow.